Hello gorgeous people, I'm Chris from TechSpert and today we're going to be unboxing a fresh new HTC phone. And no, don't worry, you haven't clicked on a video from 2009. This is actually brand new for 2022. It's the Desire 22 Pro. The phone itself is a mid-ranger costing £400, or you can get it with the Vive Flow VR headset bundled for 900 quid total. So enough banging on, let's whip the HTC Desire 22 Pro out of the box, take you on a full-on tour of that and the Vive Flow VR goggles. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So what you got in that box besides the Desire? Well, in my box, I've got a USB cable and a highly thrilling safety and regulatory guide. You may get an adapter in the retail box. Fingers crossed, that's not guaranteed anymore these days, of course. Now the HTC Desire 22 Pro is a 6.6 inch device. Feels a little bit bigger than that thanks to some reasonably chunky bezel action. That display is completely flat. You've got slightly, just subtly curved edges, so the Desire is fairly comfortable to grip. 205 grams, so it's got a good heft to it. And I wouldn't exactly call it skinny, but it's not too chunky either. You've got a plastic frame running around that edge, and then flip to the back and you've got a glossy arse. At first glance it looks completely plain, but it does actually have a subtle wavy line effect on it. I'm still a bit torn on this design. I got to admit, I'm not entirely sold on the glossy gold trim on black. It kind of screams gentleman's club to me. Is it just me and my slightly dodgy brain? I don't know, let me know in the comments below. You don't get a pre-installed screen protector on the Desire 22 Pro, so you might want to slap your own on there just to be safe, although it is coated in Gorilla Glass, so fingers crossed it won't scratch up a storm. And you've got full IP67 water and dust resistance on here as well, which is great to see for a mid-range mobile. Not too many with that sort of level of protection, just like the Nothing phone and the iPhone SE 2022. Now on the software side, you've got a pretty stock version of Android 12 on here. HTC has done very little tinkering, and thankfully the Desire 22 Pro isn't laden with crapware either. So if you want yourself a super light Android experience, then basically job done. You got yourself 128 gigs of storage for all of your apps, media and other good stuff, and the best part is that's actually expandable via microSD memory cards. That's a feature that's pretty rare even at the mid-range price point these days, and I also love how you can just yank out the SIM tray using your fingernails. You don't have to reach for a paper clip or anything when you're on the go. One of the only bonus features that HTC has chucked on top of stock Android is a bit of face unlock action to supplement the edge-mounted fingerprint sensor, which thankfully seems to work absolutely fine. And yeah, a bit more of that gleam and gold action. Now, as I mentioned back in the beginning of this video, you can get your Desire 22 Pro with HTC's Vive Flow VR glasses bundled in there. And as far as VR headsets go, these are incredibly compact, certainly a lot more portable than the likes of the Oculus Quest. And at under 200 grams, they weigh less than the phone for frick's sakes. They are super comfortable to wear for long periods. And also, of course, I look incredibly sexual while wearing them. Seriously, bung these things on when you're out and about and you'll be battling off attention from men, women, dogs, basically anything with a heartbeat. Now you will need to plug the HTC Vive Flow into the Desire phone or a battery pack to actually power it, which is slightly awkward. The Vive Flow does have a teeny built-in battery, but this is more of a backup in case, for instance, you're totally immersed in your VR world, flapping about the place and you accidentally happen to knock the cable loose or something. And that way you can desperately scramble around, get it all plugged back in again before the headset actually shuts down. I've got a 20,000 mAh battery pack which delivers around 8 to 9 hours of playtime on a full charge, so at least if you've got a decent sized battery pack you can get some pretty good life out of these things. And download the Vive app from the Google Play Store and then open that up to set up the Flow VR headset and get stuck into your content. You can use your Desire 22 Pro as a kind of makeshift controller to navigate through that Vive UI, but I would recommend grabbing one of the actual official controllers because then you get some proper tactile feedback and everything, and they are actually free right now on the website when you grab a Vive Flow. For 13 quid a month, you can grab yourself access to the Viveport store, which allows you to download a whole bunch of VR apps, games, and other shenanigans direct to your Vive Flow headset. Got some good stuff on there right now, the likes of Moss, Room VR, etc. It's not quite as comprehensive a collection as what you would get on the likes of the Oculus Store, or the Meta Store, whatever the hell it's called these days. But it is expanding every month with fresh new titles. You've also got HTC's Viveverse, which offers a variety of online experiences. And of course, you can also stream content direct from the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix to these bad boys to enjoy a truly cinematic experience. The LCD screen offers 1.6K res per eye, so a crisp 3.2K res overall, with a 65Hz refresh and 100-degree field of view. You've also got adjustable lenses to counter any long or short sightedness, so you don't have to worry about wearing glasses at the same time. And the built-in stereo speakers are pretty ruddy good as well, so you don't have to worry about rocking headphones. Unfortunately, though, the HTC Vive Flow glasses are powered by the older Snapdragon XR1 chipset rather than the fresher XR2, which is stuffed inside the likes of the Meta Quest 2. So the performance isn't quite as smooth. You will notice some judder here and there when you are taking on a slightly more demanding title. Now, while the HTC Desire 22 Pro does impress in many ways with its water resistance and its expandable storage, which you don't get on a lot of rivals, unfortunately the screen is a more basic IPS LCD display, whereas a lot of the competition packs an OLED panel. All the same, it's a perfectly respectable IPS screen. You've got a full HD plus resolution, 2412 by 1080 pixels, so despite the size of this thing, visuals are still pretty crisp. The viewing angles aren't too shabby at all, and when you bump that brightness all the way up, even outdoors on a sunny day, you can clearly see what's going on. Of course, contrast isn't quite as sharp as OLED rivals, blacks aren't quite as deep, but colours are reasonably poppy, and I do enjoy how HTC has wedged away the selfie cam orifice in a corner rather than having it centrally positioned where it really does intrude a bit more when you go full screen watching videos or doing a bit of gaming. And also, unlike a lot of its rivals, the Desire 22 Pro sports a simple mono speaker output, just a single dinky wee blaster stuck away on this bottom edge. So let's see what we're working with here. Even after a fair bit of abuse and a couple of accidental drops onto hard flooring, no scratches or dents on that metal edge and all the glass back. And unfortunately, yes, that audio is rather cack, definitely rather muffled on that top volume and not particularly powerful either, so if you are going to try and enjoy any kind of content, I'd say slap on some headphones. The good news is that HTC has actually chucked a proper headphone jack here on the Desire 22 Pro, otherwise you've got Bluetooth 5.1 streaming. So now let's have a shufty at the performance, and HTC has slapped Qualcomm's Snapdragon 695 chipset into the Desire 22 Pro. It's a perfectly respectable mid-range platform. That's backed here by 8 gigs of RAM, so typical sort of scores churned out by Geekbench, and the everyday running is absolutely fine. Apps load up pretty fast, and they do tend to hang around in the background as well, so they don't immediately shut down to free up more memory or anything. And if you do fancy yourself as a bit of a gamer, the great news is that the HTC Desire 22 Pro can cope with more demanding fare like Genshin Impact, as long as the caveat is you've got to keep the graphics settings as low as possible, because if you try bumping that up, it's just going to turn into a juddery mess and you're going to be left weeping into your biscuits. But even over prolonged sessions, the Desire coped perfectly well. I didn't notice any kind of heat buildup or anything because that Snapdragon chipset is pretty energy efficient. And that flat display is perfectly responsive as well, had absolutely no issues there whatsoever. Unfortunately, while a lot of rivals offer a dedicated gaming mode, you don't get any such thing here on the Desire 22 Pro, but that's pretty much my only grumble there. Also, the Snapdragon 695 chipset does have a built-in 5G modem, so you've got full 5G streaming support when you're out and about. As for the battery, well, HTC has crammed a 4,520 mAh capacity cell into the Desire 22 Pro's shiny frame. And the battery drain's been pretty slow here on the Desire 22 Pro, helped along again by that energy efficient Snapdragon chipset. I find I get hours and hours of screen on time from a full charge, unless I'm, playing lots of Genshin Impact or I've got the Vive Flow bunged in there. When you need to recharge the HTC Desire 22 Pro, well, it's not the nippiest around 18 watt wired charging, but the good news is it does support wireless charging, which very few rivals also offer. So the likes of the Nothing phone and again that iPhone SE 2022. So let's finish off this HTC unboxing with a squint at that camera tech as circumferenced by this shiny gold trim. You got yourself a simple streamlined camera UI here, very easy to get to grips with. You do have an AI mode to help out with any scene detection. Both focus and the shutter speed seems nice and nippy. And here's just a few sample shots that I snapped with the HTC Desire 22 Pro around the old homestead over the past 24 hours. Does a reasonable job as long as the light isn't too cack. Got a reasonable amount of detail packed into each of these snaps. 16 meg snaps by default as well because it uses 4-in-1 pixel binning. You've got quite a few bonus camera modes chucked away on here as well, including the bokeh mode, which is good for capturing portrait style shots with a bit of blurry background action. You've also got a night mode for your low light shots. In ambient environments, this can help to brighten things up a bit, reduce the noise, but in proper low light conditions, it doesn't exactly work miracles. And then of course you've got the obligatory AR sticker mode, which frankly makes me look like and feel like I'm on all of the drugs. It's just wrong and it should definitely be stopped. And then the rest of your bonus camera modes are chucked away up here. As you can see, you've got full pro controls, you can create your own GIFs, all kinds of shenanigans. You've also got a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle shooter on the Desire 22 Pro. You do have to actually go to a special camera mode to load this one up. Definitely good if you want more of a pulled back view. And then that final lens is just a basic 5 megapixel depth sensor. If you've got a craving for shooting some home movie action, well, just swap to video and you can shoot up to 1080p full HD resolution footage. Again, here's just a couple of brief clips of what I've captured so far with the Desire 22 Pro. Pretty basic, bog standard home movie action. The audio pickup's absolutely fine and the stabilization is good enough so you don't feel all pukey when the camera is moving about. And then last up around front, you've got your basic bog standard 32 megapixel selfie snapper with, of course, the obligatory beauty mode shenanigans. Let's just chuck that right off, because I want to see every last sag and bag, baby, yeah! And again, you can shoot perfectly serviceable 1080p video footage using that front-facing camera. I wouldn't particularly recommend it, but it's absolutely fine for you Skyping and Zooming and stuff like that. It makes you look vaguely human. And that, my friends, in a nutshell, is the HTC Desire 22 Pro and the HTC Vive Flow VR headset bundle. And certainly if you want to experience VR wherever you roam, then the Vive Flow is a viable option. Just remember to pack your battery pack, and of course it is a bit of a shame that it isn't quite rocking the latest, freshest technology like the Meta Quest. And as for this wee bleeder, well, it is very much a case of peaks and troughs. You've got some great technology and features packed in here you won't find in other places, like wireless charging support, a headphone jack, expandable storage, and certainly a capable gamer with respectable battery life as well. But the media chops are rather weak sauce with the very tinny, muffly mono speaker output and that IPS LCD panel. So anyway, it'd be great to hear your own thoughts down in the comments below. Please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.